in the red warning that 1 crore data of Indian person who are dealing with the big basket. You know big basket, one consumer e-commerce site, particularly who serve the grocery item, all those vegetables to your home. Big basket only for $40,000 they have given auction to the all the secure data to the website, but big basket is not given. They have they agreed that person the data is stolen from their server. Now what is the security condition of you? You may arise the point, what happened if my email is lost, what happened my mobile is lost, everything I can change. The issue is that once it is lost, all the communication associated with the devices as well as the information, everything is quite connected to the internet. All the information goes to them, even those financial part which is not closely associated with this one also they can reach. Particularly Supreme Court ordered in 2019 also that Aadhaar card, which is very crucial for us, is mandatory for the PAN registration as well as the income tax filing, but not important for any telephone mobile subscription or any other purposes because of the security issue. Still the condition is alarming. Now our problem is that if existing system is sufficient, then why we will go for all these things? Now come to the point, the bottleneck of the IoT's consumers. The IoT empowers connectivity, bringing everyday's object together. That means tight hardware software integration. IoT is smart. That means when you wear the gadget in your hand, the smartwatch, you will comfortable this watch monitoring his blood pressure, your GSR, that means galvanic skin responses, all these things. That is the harder approach, but also a small scale software or operating system, or you can say small application software is duly fitted with the smart system which deal particularly this. So automatically a harder software code is an application is coming. In computer science, mostly fascinated with the software part. If any C program is giving him, he can done easily. But when a microprocessor application is given to him to implement, he will say, okay, it is a big problem for me that I can't do. So that is the big issue. Now, but that our IoT devices, whatever you are now using, are crucially very important for IoT devices change state dynamically. That is the one of the very important point. Now you are in the state, now you may be anywhere because the devices changes the dynamical. This is the one point. And the diversity in IoT is a key characteristic. It's not a IoT sensor device is suitable for your home temperature, may be used for other applications also. It is not only for one particular characteristic. The diverse natures of the IoT's application mostly. Whenever I came to know for the class or discussion with some students says that IoT means everything will be on sensor based application. I can't say this way. Sensor based application is the one of the best application practically what we can realize from the applications of the IoTs, but it is not the only solution. From healthcare to agriculture, anywhere you go, our security system or our defense system, even nowadays a smart home, whatever we are considering in our old age days, because due to the diverse nature of the economic growth or globalization, whatever may be, the person day by day becoming so alone. In the philosophic sense, we are now alone because we are in really living in the virtual world, maybe Facebook, maybe Twitter, all these things. So in this world also, it will become very necessity that very soon our home environment should be also smartly equipped. That means smart home is required to protect ourselves or to save ourselves. Again, there is a huge breach of security will be there that we have to protect. So these are the all activities whatever we feel that we need to go. And again another field which mostly happen, that if you go to the cyber system. Now what will be the cyber system? Uh, Suppose a car is moving on a road. Based on the road surface, the speed of the car will change, and that will be controlled remotely. It does not mean that you can you have to stay in the car and you can control. You can control the remotely. That's why unmanned vehicles are also coming to the market. The how can I protect highly complex computing system from complex, error prone, possibly malicious communication device? Because whenever why we are studying this area, you will find that whenever you touch some research oriented field, you will find that someone has done lot of work, and to find out a good possible work coming out from that was a big challenging. But if the necessity demands some new invention, a good small level contribution also will be beneficial for you. Small level communication also will be helpful to understand this one. So that's why we find that some breach of the security is found. Most of the breach man on the middle attack, that and also some malware. Introduction of the malware now rigorously is a tremendous effect is going on our society. So this is the one of the very important point we are discussing here. And how can I know that our system, that IoT devices, which we are now analyzing here, is not compromised? In the compromised sense, I am telling that it is not physically damaged by other person, or the security, the information of the devices goes outside. How can I know? So all these things motivate us to think something beyond our capacity, because our capacity, in the sense I am meaning that our cryptographic system, conventional cryptographic system. If you don't know conventional cryptography, I think it is not the best place to start, I can't say, but you can start. Even also day by day, when some conventional cryptography concept will be recur, you can study and go proceed. So it is a complete a new thing era. You can start from very beginning, but you should have some idea of the digital logic design, like multiplexer, like sequential logic circuit. So these are the basic fundamentals. If you have some concept of digital logic design and fundamental ideas, so at least you correlate with this type of work, and also you can design a good IoT security system for this one. So I think for getting research or getting idea on this work, a good knowledge of digital logic will help you a lot. What happened that in the silicon day of development, most of the fabricate, you can say a fabricate unit or fabrication part is done outside due to the economical condition as well as the condition for design the silicon chip. Pollution also is a big matter for a developing countries. India, as a pollution is always crucial matter. Even the chip manufacturer always adjust a huge amount of pollution. So that is the one another reason, but primary reason is the economical condition does not support us also, and the modern day archaeus infrastructure which requires a good quality of chip. So what happened that whenever any design is performed, as just for general, I am not going more depth in this era. As a general VLSI synthesis logic is found that first you design your algorithm. From the algorithm, you design that hardware required for this implement this algorithm. Then hardware placement will analyze, and after the placement of the hardware, routing will be performed, and finally from the router we will generate the actual layout of the physical synthesis takes place. So like in this way it happened. But what happened that when you submit such our model before the physical synthesis, the RTL, when RTL register transfer logic, transistor logic to submit, what happened that in the RTL logic, someone can maliciously introduce some circuit which will not affect your circuit, but it can rigorously affect the power, if performance of the circuit gradually by the intervention of the additional parameter. It's like in this way that you have given me a cloth to prepare a shirt for you. I have prepared a shirt as you have liked, but inside the shirt I have given some sensors, or I have added something extra which will benefit me when and as I record. I will use it, but it is you are completely unaware that something I have done with this shirt. So it is happen in the chip level also. You have given me chip to fabricate, and I am fabricating the chip, but malicious or intentionally somehow is a big chain market is there. I am giving A giving B giving C, maybe third party vendors, so many are there. The chip is finally fabricated and submit to the fabrication, and during the fabrication to happen, that someone has hack someone has introduced some malicious circuit. So this is the attack of the hardware from the IC to the IoT level. Meanwhile, whatever microprocessors we are generating, or what are the system on chip generating, whenever we think about the existing conventional crypto system, we thought that both of these are root of trust, that means they are secure. They are never tampered. So our security lies on the concept that our hardware is completely secure. So I am making only secure formula on logic software level. Now come to the point. It's the phenomena or the story I can analyze that a doctor is coming to me and he's checking my heartbeat with the stethoscope, and I presume that doctor is well qualified, so doctor is very good, or maybe I assume that stethoscope is very good, so there's no problem. But if the stethoscope itself some problem, or doctor is a fake, then what will be about your disease detection? Everything will be failed. So same thing is happened that generally we consider the hardware is safe, and now we can proceed for the conventional software. But whatever the story, just before I have explained that hardware can be also malfunction, or you can say physically tempered, but it's completely not visible to you whatever malicious circuit they have embedded. So there should be some technology to detect that hardware is counterfeited. Now latest days I can say these are the some examples I have told. See, 12 million fake phones and accessories seized in Dubai airport. 12 millions. Can you imagine? All these are fake phone. Most of them are iPhone or Samsung based. All these phone, all are fake. Is a best example of the counterfeit design they have collected and found. Then tap and go bankers are so very convenient, but a red fraudster can steal your details just by standing close to you. That very close to you also. Using some schema, using some image devices, all these things they are doing some RFID attacks is going on. And also AES crypto system, which also have second using dollar key to few inches away. So attack on AES, which is the existing conventional crypto system, most latest advanced encryption system also under attack. So it is found that huge attack is going on around the sun. Truly speaking, the credit card system, the online banking system, whatever you are using, from my point of view, completely under the hand of God. Everything is visible to everyone, but they are providing such type of minimal security that none can easily steal, but they can also visualize some data is passing. If you go for ethical hackers, meet some ethical hacker, they can show you which information of a credit card completely open, which is not open, even though by encryption or something they are targeting. So like a small scale person like you and me are not the targeted one for the big hackers. They are targeting big investors. So very happy at this point, but very soon at the micro level also attack will come. I am frankly saying that nothing is safe, and the safety or security whatever now we are dealing or now we are discussing, it is only relative parameter. One personal 2 bit will be attacked, then I will make 4 bit. One 4 bit will be attacked, then I will go for 8 bit. Like in this, I will increase the bit size, and the hacker also trying to crack it. But sometimes it happen when the existence will happen, further I can't do, then I have to go alternative technology which hacker don't know. So like in this scenario is changing rapidly. Our main criteria also happen in the quantum technology. When quantum technology has come is rigorously, I think if the technology will be physically available or viable to all, what will happen I don't know. Maybe all the internet connectivity, all this thing, it will be quantum, it will secure. Otherwise normal conventional circuit, everything will be easily guessed. So there's the problem is coming also upcoming. Now in modern days coming also IoT, which is a small level memory. The capacity may be some MB or KB. In these cases, how can I load our conventional uh, that is crypto system which requires some GB parameter of size? That is the one of the most important reason why the use of memory, that means huge consumption of the memory of the conventional crypto system blocks is success near future. Another is that not only conventional key, public private key or public key system anyhow is a symmetric or asymmetric. Both the crypto system lies on the security of the keys, and which you have to store anyhow or you have to share. So storing concept, the introduction of the storing, which is completely attacked, that may storing some value non-volatile memory, this keys value also has some vulnerable to the existing crypto system. So all these are scenarios which are not favorable to the IoT. IoT itself in the environment where it can be attacked by any time anyhow. Okay, so IoT increases the number of threats, and distributed IC supply chain is a vulnerable to security threats that I told. The distributed IC supply chain from design to developer fabrication up to fabrication side. Security system relies on storage of secret key, the existing conventional system, and storage device is completely susceptible to invasive attack. So these are the part are not feasible to in current scenario. And day by day the increase the IoT threats require, which demands the current conventional IoT or recent trends of communication, I can say, it demands a good lightweight security primitive which can provide security from hardware level. That is the main thing. Even software level already our existing key system is there. For that part, a new concept, physically unclonable function, puff. That puff is in Godrej refrigerator, it was polyurethane foam. It is not that Godrej concept puff, so we are using a physically unclonable function. The audience, I think they are quite not known the topics. Any question from you said up to that? So that is the importance today we are dealing. Anyone can raise your voice so that it will be very clear to all of us that you are getting some difficulties understanding, so I can analyze. Anything you would like to share with me? Okay. So I thought that you are on the track. So let's go the rest part. In this here, the fingerprint of the device, I can say whenever we sign any document, digitally sign, or in classical sense, in earlier days, a thumbprint was there. So that's what I have mentioned in a classic sense. So there's the measurement method. So you can say whatever circuit actually we are designing, that will be the fingerprint for that circuit. It means that in a same environment, suppose I am designing a AND gate, AND logic gate also. I am fabricating AND logic gate or multiplexer maybe. But it is a wonderful feature of the silicon is that same environment, same logic, using same mechanism, if you implement also, the device has some physical variation. You can divide 100 times or 90 times, whatever may be, all the 99 times will be uniquely there is a physical variation. It is a silicon's physical variation. So that if anyhow we can capture and utilize it, I think nothing you have to store because it is an intrinsic property of the chip itself, and we are trying to do this thing. So PUF actually like in this way. Existing circuit is there. Within the existing circuit, I am additionally another circuit I am designing and embedding with your existing logic. Your existing function will work here also, and chip on chip to both are same logic maybe, but due to the presence of the PUF, I can, when I check the PUF responses, that means some input I will give for that circuit, not my original circuit. Original circuit will do their function automatically as required, but whatever additional circuit I have embedded with the chip, I will give the input to the circuit. Here challenge means input and response means output from the circuit. So as cryptographic sense, we are mentioning challenge and response. So both the response will never be same. The same PUF circuit is present in the both the circuit, but due to the physical variation of the silicon, that never be same. So that is the fundamental concept we have introduced in the PUF. That means a common simple logic circuit, additional main logic circuit, a combinational or maybe sequential logic circuit, you are embedding in your logic design or development desired circuit, that is quite known to you but not known to you hackers. What happen, hackers even try to do to physically tamper or some to crack some information also, or someone has changed the chip also, you can detect easily by saying giving the challenge. For the same circuit, whatever challenge you will get, some same set of response will appear. For a different circuit, response will not same. If in place of chip 1, chip 2 is placed, which is mimic the chip 1 circuit also, that will not same. So there's the correlation between a challenge depend upon the uncontrollable intrinsic physical variation of the device. The challenge response mapping is ideally unclonable and instance specific. So that we have targeted initially. Suppose this is a inverter gate. just like inverter, three inverter gate I have coupled together. Here also three. Here if I give 0, 0 will be 1, 1 will be 0, 0 will be 1. Here also if I give 0, 0 will be 1, 1 will be 0, 0 will be 1. The problem is that the propagation delay of this and this will not be same. That is the physical variation also. The propagation delay of this circuit and you will not see, sometimes this output will be propagated to the output when C is 1. If C is 0, it will not propagate it. So based on the input of the whatever the input you will give, the output D and its corresponding output will change. Sometimes C is 0, it is 0, so it will not be changed. So D can be anything, don't care. And when C equal to 1, only D is reflected. If D is 1, it will be 1. If C is equal to 1, there is the 0, that will be reflected 0. So as per that, the value when will change when C equal to only 1. But when C will reach and when this will be reached, propagation delay will differ. So that's why I have given that when I give 0, both will be 1. If both will be 1, the situation like in this way. Now, when 1 to 0 or 0 to 1, whatever the change will happen, how can I know that propagation delay will differ, and so the changes will be also automatically differ. So a set of bits I will send and set of output will be propagated, and that will differ different times. So that's why whenever I have to check the circuit is correct or wrong, I have to design a set of input stream and that I will pass here. Here I have given some concept that it is particularly for a particular function fx, whatever challenge I will give, based on that response will be generated. All these response for a particular circuit will be equivalent, but for the two different circuit it will not say. For the same circuit it will be equivalent, but this will not be equivalent for different chip. For same chip is okay. So whenever you have cloned the circuit in this way, so you can detect that this someone has changed the circuit or not. Because if someone has changed the circuit, automatically you when you pass the set of challenges, the input, it will not produce the same set of responses whatever I have demanded. So it can capture. So intensive property of a device is used to generate the key. The key does not leave the device boundary, and the invasive attack is very difficult. It is not possible because if someone has to play, because most of the time it happens that use applying reverse engineering, we actually change the concept of the circuit. But whenever you are trying to reverse engineering, yeah, reverse engineering, that means you first break the entire system and try to understand how the system was built. Once you go for the system breaking the system, generally it happens, we are very expert in this domain. Whenever new computers marketer come, we check one by one the connection, and again we assemble the connection, try to habituate with the experimentation, and gradually we learn. How many computer professionals are there in an Indian market? They are completely certified, but they repair the computer. It is the best application of reverse engineering. They broke it, they play it and understand it and then learn it. So this you also can do, but whenever you play with the chip to play the reverse engineering, automatically the path property will be broken, or you can say damaged. So by applying the same path you can do. So the clone path is not possible. You can never clone a path by applying reverse engineering, is not possible. So like in this way, these are the different features in the path orbitary. One non-silicon era, we found that optical path, the acoustic path, these are the different paths are found. Most of era we are doing silicon based path, and silicon based path, most of the we are working on delay path. Delay path is arbiter and arrow. Arbiter path is most secure path. So different path in STEM also we can use this type of architecture. Just one point you remember that path is a additional circuit. It is not the actual circuit we are implementing. Suppose you have a multiplexer implementing, so multiplexer circuit will be there. Along with the multiplexer circuit, additionally you are embedding this circuit. So this is the extra headache or overhead you can say. But to protect our system, overhead can be eligible, because see, we know in our door Godrej lock also there. Even we are applying CCTV camera, even we are applying so many additional security to protect our doors also. Same thing will happen, but that is the mental satisfaction I can say. But here in these cases, if we embed the performance of the chip, I think puff circuit is a negligible overhead comparing the main performance of the security overhead. So what happened in the puff based authentication is the very basic thing, that in a device A we embedded the puff, okay, and someone we know some challenge and responses are there, that we know, and we created the standard parameter challenge and response for this circuit. Now this device is given to the untrusted supply chain environment. They have fabricated. Now after fabrication, whenever they have delivered to us, I can check whether my device is at per my requirement or not. So, or you can say if it is deployed in an unauthenticate or untrusted environment also, if someone has changed the device or not, I can test, because same challenge I will provide to the circuit, and whatever response we will get, I will capture it and I will try to match with my existing responses what should be. So for the application of the database also I can know, but you can ensure that the use of database also headache in these cases, but comparing the overhead of the crypto system here is very less, because nothing you have to store, no key is there, only some bit you will pass, some output will be given, no cryptography algorithm to store, there is no algorithm to store in the cryptography hash except some circuit, but that is also negligible. So secure authentication can be performed without using a secret key, nothing to remember, your chip itself is a key. So we can understand this. Now suppose uh, one puff, if I say okay, if it possible I'm saying that is a one video for this one, how does puff looks. See, this is the puff circuit and this is the circuit I am embedding on the circuit itself. Now I am going for the fabrication of the part of the manufacturer. Then manufacturer devices comes with the fabricated chip. Now this is the puff enabled chip. That's why I given some green signal here. Now you give the corresponding challenge response. You find the response. You compare the response, your golden parameter. Even hacker are trying to do or still to do, can't do anything. If it is matches, you can say it's okay. So this is our assumption, or you can say fundamental right to check. So our main goal is that design the chip and fabricate, that I have already sent. Here we have during the fabrication, if someone do some malfunction modification also we can detect. Even after manufacture, when it is complete, manufacturing is complete, after manufacturing when the device will be ready, even someone is trying to physically temper the circuit or maybe temper the anyhow, the condition prevails that the challenge response whatever I have, it will never match if someone physically temper it. So I can easily detect it that the device is counterfeit. So that is the one issue we found here. So now the path response can be directed hashed down to desired function. So now we are trying to incorporate some crypto logic like ECC, electric curve cryptography system, hash function. These are very light encryption system comparing others, but the security was not very tight as AES or other algorithms. So now puff circuit can be embodied with this type of algorithm, very lightweight algorithm, but for that algorithm require the key, and that key will provide from using puff circuit, then it will be very strong to protect ourselves, at least at this generation. Now we'll go for that the environment whatever we made for FPGA, particularly now modern days, another digital circuit, that is the field programmable gate array. It is coming to the market. So I think FPGA circuit is available or the very low cost environment. You can say the test bench, or you can say the digital circuit bench, where you can apply your logic and test the logic. So most of the IoT based environment monitoring system also you can develop with the FPGA system to simulate your complete environment. So the sensor device and temper and some display unit with the FPGA. Our main target that anyhow I will implement the FPGA, the path here, and we can monitor the system, we can enable it. The none can temper our the path circuit, so it will be very helpful for us. Altera, next XP, some companies already started manufacturing. And I think Intel and others companies also very soon will enable design. That means we can, whatever we can say, the PUF enabled digital circuit. So since FPGA is a flexible circuit, because I would like to point one thing, concepts is that ASIC, FPGA, and general purpose computing, these are quite completely different. If you know all these things, it's very good, but if not clear also, just I am elaborating some page. General purpose computing system is more flexible, NRE cost is very less, but due to the architecture or complexity, their hardware complexity high comparing others, and they are very flexible. Like our general computer PC, or you can say any high-end computer system, all belongs to general purpose computer. Fully depends on the performance of the microprocessor, or you can say the GPU. All these things come general purpose processor because they are not targeted for any application. In a variety of application, they are targeted. But when you go for the application, single instruction specific architecture, you can say SIP or single instruction processor. In general purpose application, you will find the GPP, general purpose processors, more flexible, huge capability, but design complexity also high. But if you go to the single instruction processor or single instruction processor SIP, which works on maybe addition, suppose addition, any type of addition, it will work. The dimension of the scalability of the computation will be comparatively GPP very less. So it is completely twice hardware oriented because less hardware is required. So we can fix the hardware, number of hardwares here. No hardware modification or alteration required because it is application specific. And also sometimes we know application specific integrated circuit, that is called ASIC, or you can say ASIC. And both the way you will find that ASIC is completely application hardware. There is no chance of any programming, whichever we found in ASIC. Our target is that it will be little bit hardware based to get the best performance, and it will be little bit programmable so that we can modify the work nature or work or the logic. So to give trade-off, that means it should be little bit ASIC, application specific processor, and application integrated circuit. So if you marginalize these two features, the new era of FPGA is coming, which is flexible, is a little bit programmable also, and also completely hardware oriented, get the application specific application. Once it is programmed for a particular application specific, it become like a ASIC. But ASIC is not programmable. ASIC is very fast, optimal, but not flexible. So flexibility can be introduced by FPGA. So FPGA is a very important thing. Nowadays FPGAs are all coming for developing different IoT devices. So also it can provide the low cost security for the IoTs. That's the one very important point. So we have implemented a path that is will call the latch based CRO. Latch based CRO, even on the PUF circuit, you will find the ring oscillator based circuit. I have designed this configurable RO and highly flexible CRO, and both this circuit is a PUF circuit that I embedded in the chip. So I have the switch block I have used in the FPGA block. I have targeted the four like in this way. The input whatever provided from the output, that will pass in the multiple path channel. I will, if I switch it, either this signal will go this way or directly it can go this way. Again I'll switch it here also, according to that it will movement, because this single input can change. And this single input whatever I am giving, that is only challenges I am giving from out. 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1, different bit pattern combination will select different switching module, so the output will just randomly will get the different output combination. So like in this way, sometimes 0 also appending here, also inverse also appending here. So enable will give you the important part here also. So this type of thing we have designed already in VLSI SoC. It is established. So this we have targeted in the FPGA level, and in the FPGA level, main target is that our number of resources, that means CLB and slices, whatever you are using. The proposed design has been implemented on Xilinx Spartan 3. Spartan 3 is the old model. Now you will find RTX 7 also, but the Xilinx Spartan 3 you can use. And as a starter board, you can implement the entire circuit. That's the looks at the simulator of the ISC Xilinx. And now we have implementation the proposed design. Finally, that colored one is the introduction of the LCROs in the circuit, and you will find this is not the actual, it is a simulated view, and the simulation IC will find out. Finally, after that will be this is the system we have developed, and in the laboratory first of all we implement it, and then we developed in the hardware chip here. And once the hardware chip is part on FPGA we are developed, we finally provide the heat. First we would like to see the heat, and based on the heat we would like to check that due to the presence of heat whether the challenge response pair is variation happen or not. We are providing with the thermal heat chamber also we are providing. Voltage also we are fluctuating to check that whether voltage is effect or not. Like in this way we have environmentally or practically we can implemented the path in the circuit, and we have tested successfully. And now with this path it utilized for securing the our IoT communication. So this is the one part we have finished. Now we have experimentally verified the introduction the entry view, that the occurrences of 0 and 1s in the path it should be as very close to the 50%. That is our target. That means the uniqueness always should be, each of the boards should be unique. Output probability of occurrences of output differ, and as well as the uniformity should be very close to the 50%. It means that the output challenge should be the number of 0 and 1 should be 50-50%. This is a good condition. The ideal value of bit aliasing uniformity and uniqueness should be 50%, but generally it is the ideal cases, but at least we are striving to reach the uniformity level 49.65. So occurrences of 1 or 0 in our output stream should be very close. That means number of occurrence of 0, number of 1 occurrence should be very close. So 50-50 ratio will happen. So there is the 1 point. It should be very clear. No two out challenge can produce the same response. That also very important. Uniqueness should be there. So these are the three properties, and we have applied this board in multiple different board already have applied at different temperature. We have changed the variation somewhere, some way. So in 5 different board, same pattern, but 5 board we have applied with different voltage and different temperature to estimate the effect of the environmental variation. The temperature variation did not affect the reliability. It was supposed to have found. Now, the last one is that when we embed it to the Wi-Fi part, that means now actual Wi-Fi protocol is there. Majority of IoT devices use the Wi-Fi technology for connectivity, and Wi-Fi is itself vulnerable to various threats like MAC spoofing attack, deauthentication, ROF attacks, and evil twin attacks. All these things in the IoT unmonitored environment, in the unmonitored environment of IoT, it is a really very critical. So now this attack I have to prevent because PUF chip is enabled or PUF I have there. Current Wi-Fi protocol cannot ensure security in physical layer. So that's why in the physical layer we are trying to prohibit this type of all attacks. In the event twin attack, SSID encryption or to detect the SID, all these things how we can do. MAC spoofing also we can prevent by the introduction of the PUF. So this is the one thing we can say. Challenge, we have fixed some bits of challenge, and PUF enabled circuit we developed on the IoT devices. On Raspberry Pi board we have considered, and the Raspberry Pi I will apply with the FPGA. With the communication I will pass to the FPGA to the Raspberry Pi. So to understand that it is going to the PUF, and whatever the PUF is checking, that will be sent to the PUF embedded IoT device. Since I can fabricate a PUF enabled IoT device, I take the help of the FPGA. In FPGA, I will implement the PUF, and the IoT devices I will implement with the Raspberry Pi. Very low cost devices, and within 1 lakh or maybe less than 1 lakh, at least you can design a complete test bench for the IoT's checking. So the corresponding response will find, and the fuzzy extractor with the key and the helper, the logic will implemented. The fuzzy extractor will give in the router database, the response will be generated. After that response, we will check is the MAC address of the IoT device is present. If it is present, the router is authenticated, otherwise terminate the process. Then you are not allowing this person to enter your network. So like in this way, the concept, the critically, these concepts are there. That means we can say all these are here applicable or connected in the circuit. So these are the actually logic. We can say how we generate the circuit. More details you will find in our paper, which is already published in the website. When you go for this one, Wi-Fi authentication using PUF, details of the circuit you will find. So here also the logic, whatever I have implemented is a complete research work, so I am not wasting your time. The use of the concept is that whenever the key is generated, the nonce is generated, you will find that we are analyzing the output, is the path enabled or not, or through path actually we are generating the circuit. So whenever we generate the from the router level, the circuit where challenge is passing, in the challenge in the path enable circuit, we take the path circuit here in the IoT devices, and this challenge corresponding response will be created, and from the response we will use the fuzzy structured as circuit, and anyhow finally we will generate the C1 whatever they have given, and C1 and C1 dash will cryptographically hash this function, the complicated fuzzy function. Finally you will find that K2 dash whatever they have sent and K2 whatever they have sent will be same or not. If it is same, the INT is authenticate, not same, to terminate the process. So actually our target is that whenever any device try to connect with the server, it will first give the server some set of response channel from the router. Generally MAC ID they are providing. Nowadays instead of MAC ID we will take some constant values which can be generated using some cryptologic, and that values will be passed to the path that is completely intensive specific. If some physical tamper is there, R3 will be generated wrongly. Finally this can never be matched. So these are the logic. From request to the MC, from the router database, it will send this parameter after complicated calculation, and he will again generate the response based on this one. And after calculating, he will send the new response generated. It will be send new response will be kept to calculations with the JOR with the nonce, and finally whatever the circuit will get, you compare with this one. It will be looks like same. So XOR operation is a sequer here for introducing the randomization, and then these are the analysis we have done. Lot of complete complications I am not doing here. So here we can see the security against Wi-Fi threats. We can found that these are the attacks generally cannot be available, or you can say we can prevent because of the interaction of the path in the circuit. So these are the different work already published, so many persons in the path-based work. Now these are the actually implemented our proposal in the circuit, that a circuit IoT device will try to communicate with the another IoT device through the path. Path we have developed here in the circuit. Whenever this will give the communicator, the router will authenticate with this device. One Raspberry Pi I have considered as a path device. Another IoT device I have considered as a router. Whenever any challenge will be given from the IoT device to the circuit, from the path-based circuit, it will generate those bit stream to the router, and router will give. One of my students, Shaha, has implemented practically, and he has done this. So let's see this video so you can understand how we have laboratory experimental all this part. Is this video scene is available to all of you? Anyone can respond? Is it visible to you?
Yes, yes, visible.
Okay. Sound is visible. Sorry,
Sir,
audible.
sound is not coming. Sound is not
Okay.
coming.
No, the video sound is not audible.
Yes. I guess it is a video, so there is no sound, I guess.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Sometimes so our target is that this is the part actually she has implemented as a client part, one Raspberry Pi board, and another Raspberry Pi I have considered as a router. In between that FPGA, the through Xilinx portal, I have FPGA path is embedded here. So once PUF is I have embedded, you can disconnect the Xilinx ISC software, further not required, because the PUF I fabricated. You can say last for common sense, PUF is fabricated here. Now the challenge response for the device already I have stored in the router earlier, because for a particular challenge response of the PUF, whenever he try to send the request to communicate with the router, he will pass to the PUF and it will send. Then automatically it will match as per my criteria. But if you use another path, system path, and same path I have implemented in another Raspberry, another Xilinx ISC part, and try to encompass it, you will find that is not matching. To indicate that path is non-clonable, unclonable, and also it provides the tight security to this one. Other device directly try to communicate with this one, it can't communicate. Some network protocol stacks will be there. It can allow the router to accept it, because only those path router will be accepted through only that path is coming. So by introducing the path, all the devices which are path enable only can be communicated. So that is our issue, that there is no headache of huge bottleneck of the cryptography algorithm, normal cryptography protocol or small lightweight protocol you are using, but the headache of the key is not required. Nothing key we are storing, it is itself. This chip will be embedded here in near future, so it is directly from itself client is sending, but client his key is there, but you can say within his blood, it is not in his pocket or not anyhow. Automatically he will generate this information. So like in this way, a tight lightweight security we can analyze. So that's up to my PUF based security for the IoT application. Any question from your side, I will be very happy to answer.
Students can post their questions to sir. Sir is available here. I think IT, CS, EC all will be related to this particular topic. You have
Yeah.
hardware as well
Is
as
require,
network.
yeah, is require. First part is that programming concept. Python programming is required for implementing the network stack, and IT people is very associated with this one. And for the communication protocol, where Wi-Fi protocol is there, but existing protocol is not sufficient to support these features. And then you also go for the digital communication era. That means completely VLSI synthesis. So EC, IT, and CS, one person from each field combined together can generate a good technology. So it's the interdisciplinary work. Okay, you can continue.
So, are there any questions?
Most of them, I think, not getting interested in the topic still now. So that's why no question. Generally, it is presumed that no question means either you have understood 100% or either you have understood 0%. This is the significance of no question. Generally, our teachers said. But for the sake of self-satisfaction, I can say you understood little bit, at least 1%. Okay.
So,
Even if you have some question, you can pass to the your Shonirvar sir. He can message me also. Later on also we can communicate.
yes, if you have any queries, you can post, or we can forward it to Bibhas sir.
But
Or
you
anybody.
work.
Yes, if anybody is working on this as a project of master degree, you can contact sir also. Sir is very helpful. At least myself and Jayanta sir, both of us know that.
So no problem.
No.
Near future, I think some person from this lecture session, if little bit he understood, okay, there is a lot of hardware, but don't worry about the hardware. Hardware is the part of the hardware itself. It is not our headache. It is there for to handle. See, you are most of the first person, I think, handling the hardware, because your hand smart devices, the completely most advanced IoT devices you are handling. And I am telling you 100%, 99% cases, it is found that our smartphone is fake. You don't know. It's completely fake device we are using. The actual genuine product in the market will be too costly, too high, that we can't afford also. But even some IMI or some security number, it is matching is okay, but it is also faked. But the path enabled circuit cannot be faked. In near future, most of the companies are now interested in the path enabled circuit. Then costly of the IoT devices or smartphone will increase a little bit, but at least your system will be secure. Okay, the thanks from my side to all of you who are passionately given such sufficient valuable time from their life to listen it. I think they will be a little bit benefited in their future.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Thank you for this wonderful lecture. I hope we are having the first batch of MTech IT this time. So maybe next year, if they are start working on this hardware-based projects,
Sure,
we can
sure.
get your help. Uh, Thank you very much, sir, for
Okay.
sparing your time for this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. So may I quit now?
Yes, sir. Thank you.